Hi there, it's Mare. I am just putting together some ephemera, or making some ephemera, I should say, out of lots of different flashcards. They have these great big ones. They're like, let me see, 7 3/4 or so by 4 3/4. About that size, but I have all kinds of different sizes, and I thought, let's pull some of this stuff out and utilize it. I have some scraps at hand, just different papers that I grabbed. I am starting my next journal. I've already started with the basic, the cover, the platform for the cover, I should say. It's going to be a very girly. If you haven't seen my dollhouse video, I'll link it in the description box below. My dollhouse journal is all decked out with bling and girly stuff. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make some ephemera, and I've made some grungy ephemera, but this time I'm just gonna make some basics. So what I will do is just start out with different papers. Now this is one that I'll be using in the actual journal, and just to get the surface done is such a big help for me, because then I'll come back through and I might throw some stitching in there and some little pieces of lace, some stamping, some stenciling, some even some some stencil paste and different things like that. Or I might just throw some gesso down in different spots, or gesso the majority of it and throw color down with inks and oxides. So that's what I'm doing today. So I'm just thought I'd turn on the camera and say hello to you all. By the way, thank you for all my subscribers. I've hit over 3,000, and I never thought it was possible for little old me to get that many subscribers. So I'm blessed. I thank all of you, and I appreciate you guys. So I will be doing a little semi-announcement. I will be doing another little giveaway. When I say little giveaway, that's because it's going to be a mini journal. And I will show you that coming up in the next couple of videos, and I'll put the details in the description box too, just to I'll put in the title. You'll say, giveaway instructions or whatever, because that was fun last time, and you guys deserve it. Anyway, I have my cozy coffee. Now the whipped cream is melting, so as you can probably guess, this is not sugar-free, not carb-free, not gluten-free. It's just straight up good. It's cozy coffee. I told my sister and her daughters when they were here, and got my son-in-law as well, kind of hooked on it. Let me show you. I put it on my counter, made up just a big ball jar full of it, and it's got all kinds of bad stuff, but it does have instant coffee in there too, and I'm not typically an instant coffee drinker, but in this capacity, yeah, it's just such a good mixture, just the flavors together, and then you can doctor it up with, whipped cream or any creamer or flavored creamers that you want when it's done. And I stick a cup of water in the microwave for a couple of minutes and put 3 teaspoons of that stuff in it, and it's my afternoon warm drink. If you're interested, I'll put the link to, it's Farming Pastor's Wife. That's her. I love her YouTube channel, and I watch her, and I've made some of her recipes, and this one by far is one of my favorites. So yeah, just a little tip. So before I get into a full-blown infomercial, I'm gonna glue some things down. So I hope everybody had a really good Labor Day. I know I did. I'm using some original ephemera. So before anyone starts going, no, don't. It's just time. I've got loads of different things, and I just want to use some of it. I am going to put together a little master board, though, I think, and scan it. I think that would be definitely worth it. I have this ripped up ruler I got years ago. Some like Ed's Craft Emporium on Etsy. I believe his shop is still open. Don't see this for sale, but you could always just message him, I guess. Tell him who sent you. But, and just ask him if he still makes them, because you see how that's all ripped up there? And I mean, unless you have, you know, somebody that's handy in your life that could make that. It seems a little dangerous, though. But anyway, it rips really well when I want that look. And I want that look for this one. Just gives you a nice deckled edge. I do have the deckle, Tim Holtz deckle thing. It's okay. I just don't remember to get, you know, take some of this stuff out sometimes, you know. And I'm just end up using what I have right in front of me. So I'm thinking about doing a live show as well. You know, I just have I haven't done one yet, but I just have like this little fear of being on and like nobody's there but me. I might have to get somebody over to be a monitor. Not that any even bots are gonna go, oh, there's nobody watching her. Why should I go in there? But I just would rather be crafting and peeking at the comments. But just let me know. Let me know in the comments if you'd be interested in seeing a live, if you like lives, and if there's any questions that I could answer, you know. There's, you know, you always feel like there's people that are so much more knowledgeable in stuff that, you know, I always think that. But there are some helpful things I think I could tell, especially people who are just starting out in journaling, or, you know, mixed media journaling or what have you. I just think there's some things I wish I would have known in the beginning that were helpful to me. Not that everybody's going to feel the same way as me, but I love to keep the edges up. I know if anyone's paid attention to any of my collaging, I really love that look. That's about right. And I'm going to make these all different. I have a list. I put it in the description of my last primitive journal. And I have a list of new journals that I'm coming out with. I think instead of a full out Christmas one, which don't get me wrong, I love Christmas. But I'm going to do a Little Women, because to me that's just one of those movies that I do watch around Christmas time. You know, I'd watch it other times too, but it just reminds me of coziness and Christmas. And so I hunted down, this was probably a couple years ago. You know, you can get ice skate charms, because you know how I love charms and adding metal into my journals with charms, or little dangles of some kind and different things. So I hunted down some really old looking ice skate charms, you know, like really old fashioned, because that's, you know, I don't know, I'm just crazy sometimes. I get a theme going in my head. I picture what I want to do, and I just start gathering, you know. And then, like, it happens for me anyway, is that I go on to something else, because it just didn't feel right to start that particular project. And that's what I do. But anyway, I have, I do have another primitive. I have the cover done. And since I did 2 in a row, I just felt like, okay, I need to move on. because just to do something super girly in between just helps me mentally. I just like to do different themes. Like I have in mind for like a fantasy type one that my niece keeps telling me that I need to do. I have a cover that I'm going to tear apart because I made it and I was like, I don't know. I don't know if it's just, if you get going on something, you make a cover and you're just like, meh. It's just so-so. So what do? I just tear it apart and start over until I feel like it's what I wanted. Anyway, isn't that color combo pretty? I always liked like pinks and the aqua blue, the retro blue. I don't remember where I got these flashcards. I think it was a thrift store years ago. But you might as well start using what you got. That's how I felt about it anyway. So I'll go through, and after this dries, I'll ink it, decide what I want to do, if I want to put lace on it, put stitching on it, stamp on it, gesso it, whatever. Deck it out the way I want it, and then I just have the bases all set and ready. What time do we got? Yeah, that looks pretty. I like in the middle. So I'm gonna make the mini journal. I have so many projects that I want to do. So God willing, I'll be able to get some finished before the end of the year. So the Little Women will be around Christmas time, I'm thinking. But I definitely know I'm going to put a piece of lace probably there, the way I'm feeling it anyway. I like dates, so I'm going to get the date in there. I'm also doing, this one will be like it's girly, but it's a fairy princess. Right now, that's what it looks like I'm doing. And I do have a fairy one started. I'm just had to set it aside. It was just one of those things you can't force, you know, until I'm mentally there, ready to do it. So once it's dry, and I like that. Now I've done the little pieces all over, and I might do some like that as well. But I like this. I'll ink it up with different pinks and stuff, but I like to go like this and just sand up the edges, even if it takes some of the paper off, which is fine because even though mine will be girly and all that, I still have a little bit of, you know, vintage feel to it, even more retro feel. And I do like making my own ephemera, but there's a lot out there for journal cards and stuff and digitals that are really super nice. I just usually will work at collaging the pages if I'm going to use, you know, digital journal cards or whatever. I just have to put me in it somewhere. So anyway, that's that one. I'm going to set it aside in front of my mirror that I have. My mirror. Ugh. Yes, it's been a crazy day. My fan that I have over there to dry. And then just do maybe some little ones. I think because this has a 1902 date, I love the 1800s and early 1900s. So I'm going to stick that aside because I may need to put that on a master board and scan it. So I'm using lots of pinks. pink and green and, oh, and I do add like little butterflies, or maybe some fairy wings. She's gonna be a fairy princess, but you know, it's not all gonna be fairy stuff. It'll be a lot of other things too. I just wanna stuff up that bit. Now this is a darker paper, so I'll probably use some molding paste on there, or grit paste or something, and do some stenciling, because I like to do that over some of the darker pages, darker paper. It has a nice design in the paper already. A great way to use up some scrapbook paper. I have a lot of scrapbook paper, and I have to say it's not just from, you know, the past of the scrapbooking days. I bought probably a year or two ago the last sheets, but now it's just like a sheet here and there that I really love. But I've got like pads of paper in duplicates. Ugh. I've donated a lot, given some away, but there's some like blue fern. I mean, that's just, I love that paper. Try to use it without making my journal super thick. Of course, I don't have my wipes close by, but I will get them. So that's kind of pretty, pinkish purple. And then I will put something more neutral with it. See, and this is just by accident because I just picked it up. You see this pink line here? It just matches perfect. It's a great coincidence. So I like to do not so much half and half. I just like the look of one, either the bottom being higher or the top. And then I'll decide, I'll do each side the way I want and decide what one I'm gonna use for like a front of something. And I just have my craft mat here. And I've got some doilies, some paper doilies, some dyed ones, and I'll use little pieces of that here and there and just build on it. But getting these bases together are just a lot of fun, and it's nice when you're making your journal just to be able to look or reach into a stockpile of something and have it and see what one goes and all that. It's just fun that way. This is pretty brittle. I should be able to just... There we go. Yeah, I like it all scruffed up. So, that's what I'm doing. I hope you guys are enjoying your day. Look for the video for the giveaway instructions and details. And have a great day. Happy crafting. Check out the Cozy Coffee. And let me know about the live if you'd be interested in anything like that. Maybe a time that's really good that you think, time of the day that would be beneficial. All right, thanks guys. Have a great day.